Welcome back, students. Today we will continue with our C programming language. So we have already learnt many concepts in C programming language, which are nothing but operators, different looping statements and different selection statements, and in continuation with that we have completed functions as well as arrays in previous video lessons. So in continuation with arrays, in today's video lesson I would like to explain the concept called strings as my first topic, and another topic which is passing arrays to functions. So we have learned the functions. So here we'll see how the arrays can be connected to a function. Right? So these two topics will continue in today's video lesson. So let's continue with strings. So what is a string? So we don't know what is a string. So first, simply I would like to say a string is a derived data type. I'll just remind you that there are different kinds of data types available. That is primary data type, derived data type, user defined data type. Primary data types are nothing but int, float, char, double. These four are primary data types. Whereas we are talking about derived data types. So these are nothing but derived from primary data types, which are derived from PD. So what are the things we have learnt already? We have learnt that functions is a derived data type. Depending on the written type, what we pass, okay, we call a function as a derived data type. A function can be of type integer, or it can be a type float, or it can be a character, or it can be a double. In continuation with that, after functions, we have learnt the array. So what is an array? Array is a collection of similar data items. So what are the items? This can be any one of these four. Again, so it can be a collection of integers, it can be a collection of floats, or it can be a collection of characters, or it can be a collection of doubles. Right? So we have seen an array is a collection of similar data items. So in subpart of array, collection of characters is called string. That means a group of characters is called a string. Suppose if I want to write R, so anything which is written as single quote is called a character. This we have already learnt while learning the concept of constants. This is called a character constant. Whereas when I write anything when a double quote is called string. So simply I can define my string is a collection of characters is called a string. A collection of characters is called string. So let's see. String is nothing but collection of characters. Can I say a string as character array? Definitely yes. What is an array? It's a collection of similar items. So what is the character array? It is an array of type character. So a character array is nothing but a collection of characters which makes a string. Okay? So we call a string as a collection of characters. So here comes a question. Again, similarly, what we declare an array? declaration of string. So how we can declare the string? How we can declare the string? String can be declared as, actually an array can be declared. So syntax here comes data type. We don't have different data types. We have character, always character group, and suppose if I am writing a student name, so it is my array name. So always character, array name. Otherwise, as I am calling it as string, I will call it as string name followed by size. So these many number of characters I will allow into my string. Suppose if I want to write character name of a student, right, I will allow 15 characters. That means the maximum size of the name can be only 15. It cannot exceed the 15 as the size. Right? And compiler knows that whenever it reaches with this character, this is called null character. This indicates end of the string. This indicates end of the string. Let's see, I'll explain. So, next comes a question of initialization. So, suppose if I write a character name of 10. So, it allows the characters up to 10 characters. So, my name can be initialized as hello. Like this I can initialize. Otherwise, I can allow as each character H, E, L, L, O. This is nothing but the single quotes and close. Actually, the size of my string is 10, but I am writing only 5 characters. So, my string will look like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 actually. So here the first character will be H, E, L, L, O, and the final character is initialized as null character. This is common. This indicates it's an end of the string. This indicates it's an end of the string. Okay, like this we can assign the string to the character array, or like this also we can assign a string to a character array. Okay. So next we will see string handling functions. Remember students, this is very important for your competitive exams as well as for your university exam also. This is a question repeatedly asked for your university examination. So there are different string handling functions available in string.h header file. It's a new thing again. So what is this? This is a header file. So where do we use this? We write it at the linking part. Okay, before writing the main section, we write #include in stdio.h. Same way we write string.h so that we can get the function definitions. Now you are all aware that what is the meaning of function definitions. So that means whatever the functions we use here, the definition is already written in the header file. We just use the functions here. So what they have to do here? Okay, so we just call the function, whereas the function definition is already written in string header file. So that this header file has to be included in our file so that we can use all the string handling functions into our program. Okay, so let's see what are the different string handling functions available. So it's a mandatory to include string.header file, string.h header file in every program where you use string handling functions. Okay, so first string handling function I would like to explain, strcpy. strcpy, what is the meaning? This is used to copy string. Syntax of this will be strcpy of str1 comma str2. The meaning is this: the string 2 is copied into string 1. That means this will be removed. So it is just like assigning. As we use an assignment operator, we just copy this string 2 into string 1. Suppose I will show you an example. String cpy, copy of message comma, this is my destination. So from where I want to add, suppose this is my string 1. So hello. Remember, every string must be enclosed in a double quotes. This we have learnt already in constants. So this hello will be copied into this message. So to copy it, so this will be act as source. This is acting as destination. So from this source, the data is copied into message. So assigning the data, assigning the string 2 into string 1 will be performed using string copy. Okay. Next string handling function, it's very important and very easier string handling function, is length. strlen. So it returns, that means it gives a result, returns length of a string. Right? So it will be like, what can be the return type of this function? Definitely integer. So integer. So first we will write the syntax. String length of hello directly. Otherwise you can write string 1. So example, you can write integer I equals to, so you are calling a function string length, that is string length of hello. So what it will return? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I is assigned with 5 characters. That means it assigns the number of characters in your string. So that is assigned to this variable. This is a variable of type integer because this returns always an integer. So this is a function of return type integer. Okay, this is the second string handling function. Next, third, string compare. Compares two strings. The meaning is nothing but it compares two strings. How we can compare? Here comes a question, right? So every character in C language, like from A to Z, that means it's a capital Z, and small a to small z, and 0 to 9, we have an ASCII code, which is nothing but the numbers. Corresponding numbers are there in compiler. Right? So, A is starting from some number and Z will be ending at some place. And small a, small z. That is the reason why C language is a case sensitive language. This capital A as well as small a, both are not equal, because the number for capital A and number for capital small a, both are different. Okay, so they both are not equal. That is why the C language does not take it as similar. Both the characters are different. So in this function, it will compare the strings and returns 0 if both are equal. Suppose both the cases are equal. Right? Otherwise, it gives the difference. Difference of this ASCII value and difference of this ASCII value. Okay? Right? So, the syntax for this: string compare of string 1 comma string 2. Example, integer I, because it also returns 0. If both are equal, it returns 0. If both are not equal, it returns some number. That is the difference of ASCII number. So, string compare of capital A, comma, we'll take both the values as same. Hello, all are capital letters, right? Hello. So it returns 0 because both are same. Right? The I value is 0. Hope you have understood. Right? We'll continue. Next, string handling function. String compare I. So it will compare. Same, this is common like the previous function, but it is followed with I. The meaning is it compares without case sensitivity. Suppose if you have hello or if you have hello, it returns 0 because it is not taking care of your cases. All this string is in lowercase, this is in uppercase. Without taking care of the cases, it returns 0. Irrespective of, that means ignoring the cases. I indicates ignoring the cases. So the syntax same like the previous function. Syntax string str cmp compare I of string 1 comma string 2. So the example will be integer I equals to string compare I of hi comma hi. It returns 0 because both are same. It is not bothered about capital H or small h. Okay. So hope you are understanding. So in continuation with this, next string handling function is strn compare. So this is the string handling function which compares two strings up to positions. Right? Up to n positions only it will compare. So the syntax for this, so string n compare, n indicates the position, n compare string 1 comma string 2 comma position. So we will say the position. So integer I, example, I equals to string n compare first string, suppose I have taken hello. Okay, next string I am taking same HEL, I am taking P, and the position is 3. So 1, 2, 3. So it returns 0 because H equal E equal E L equal. So up to L it returns same. Suppose if I take it as 4, so it will take the next character, that is L, and next character, that is P. So it returns the ASCII difference of L minus P will be returned. I don't remember the number actually, L and P. So but if you take up to 4, it returns, instead of 0, it returns the difference of L minus P. Okay, so next string handling function. Next string handling function, string n compare I. By this time you would have known that this is the continuation of string n compare. That means up to n positions, comparing the strings, comparing strings up to n positions. That means we will give the number of characters and ignoring the cases. That means it is not bothered whether you have the characters in uppercase or lowercase. Okay, so syntax, string str n cmp I of str1 comma str2 comma position. Similarly, but whenever it comes with an example, so it returns some value. So integer I, right? And suppose string n compare I, it is my function call, string handling function. Here first string, if I write it as HELLO, hello, and second string if I write it as HELP up to 3. So this so the result will be as HEL and HEL, both are the similar, both the strings have the similar characters, but they are different in the cases, but up to 3 characters both are similar. So it results 0. Suppose if it takes the next L and capital P, sorry P, so this also returns the difference of L minus P. Okay, so let's continue with the next. Let's continue with the third, the next and the final string handling function is string cat. The meaning is it concatenates both the strings. Concatenates strings. That means appends the next string into the first string. Suppose, take the syntax. Suppose if you write string cat of string 1 comma string 2. So this string 2 will be appended to string 1. Suppose 2 can be copied into string 2 can be copied into string 1. So suppose if I have string 1 as Rama and string 2 as Krishna, so that means I can append this Krishna into Rama. So the result of this will be, it returns addition of these two. The meaning is nothing but simply addition of these two. It returns Rama, Krishna. Only thing is, this string 1 must be able to hold the two strings. That means the size of the string 1 should be, string 1 can hold the size of both the strings. So the string 1 size should be larger enough to hold both the strings. That is the condition for string concatenation. Okay, with this we'll end up with this string handling functions. Let's continue with the simple C program, which can give an demonstration about these string handling functions. So let's see an example program for string handling functions. So hash include stdio.h. It's a common header file included for our C program. Next is a conio.h, console input output header file. Next, every C program starts with void main. So main section will have, I have written two character arrays. That means it is string 1 and string 2 of size 20 and 20. Maximum it can hold only 20 characters into it. The string length can be a maximum 20. So it is displayed, it is declared as character arrays. So character arrays which are nothing but strings. So string 1 and string 2. I have taken the three elements, length 1 and length 2 and x. All the three I am going to use in my program. So I am taking it as 3 integers. So displayed, declared to the compiler. So next, enter the two strings. I want two strings to be entered. So here you see there is a different. This is called a format specifier for string. String can be %d we use for integer, %c for character. So whereas s is used for taking the string and %s, both the strings you can read here. And remember, we don't require address of symbol as it is an array. As we are reading it as array, so string 1 and string 2 does not require any address of symbols. So here with these two sentences, I am reading the two strings. Now we will see the string handling function. So the first string handling function what I am writing is printf string 1. I am printing the string 1 which is %s, and I am printing length which is of integer d. So as it is d, as it is integer, I am representing it as d. So %d. So I am writing it as string 1 as well as string length of string 1. Same way, printf string 2. I am displaying the string 2 as well as length. So I am displaying string 2 comma string 2, length of the string 2. So next, so we will just see an output. So as the main is executed, two strings are declared, three variables are declared as integer. So first it will ask enter two strings. So I will enter hello as well as help. Two strings I have entered, hello space help. So after that what I will write? So up to this is done. Right, next it has to print string 1, that is hello, and length of the first string. I have given the tab space, slash t is used for tab space, hello with the length. How many characters it has? 5. Right, with new line. With new line I am writing the next string help followed by the length. The length is 4 characters is displayed. Done. Right. Next, I am writing x equals to, it's an execution step, x equals to, I am writing string compare string 1 comma string 2, as both the strings are not equal. Capital H is okay, small e is okay, LL is okay, but it gives the difference of small l and small p. So x is not equivalent to 0. Right? X is not equivalent to 0. So as x is not equivalent to 0, if x is not equivalent to 0, I am assigning that printf strings are not equal. Yeah, both the strings are not equal. So I will write strings are not equal. Right? After that, what I want to write, I will continue my output here. So next step, as if loop is true, the next step I am going inside string 1, print the string 1. What is my first string? HELLO, tab space, string concatenation of string 1 comma string 2. So that means it is appended to this string. Right? So this is at the length 20. So this second string can be appended here. So hello space, right? Hello, help. This will be printed out. Okay? So, sorry. Actually, only one thing is printed out. That is, this is printed out. This is a combination of these two, concatenation of these two. So the result will be hello, help. So it will print hello, help. Done. If part is done. Otherwise we go with else part. So we don't go here, because as the if part is true, we are done with if part. So followed by the next line of statement. So reminder section we have to go on. So the reminder section, it is giving as string 1 is equal to %s, whereas it is copy of string 1 and string 2. So string 2 will be copied into here. So it will print only help. So this string 1 will be, string 2 is copied over here. Now you got the difference between these two. This is just only appending after string 1, string 2, whereas in string copy, it just copies replaces the first string with the second string and get ch and close. So this is your output for string handling function. Hope you have understood. Okay. So next concept which we are going to learn today is arrays with functions. So how the arrays can be involved in functions. So let's see. I am writing a function here, a function definition, display, where I am using the two parameters, two formal parameters. So two formal parameters are age1 and age2 are of type integer. Two integer variables I have taken, two integer formal parameters. So in that I want to display age1 and age2. So whatever comes here as age1 and age2, that will be printed out. So write the void main. So anyhow the execution starts from here. So here I am writing age of array, that means without the size. So I have given 4 elements, so the size is fixed to 4. So here I am calling a function call. What is the function call? Display is my function call. So this function is called over here by passing these two parameters. So what is this parameter? Age array of 1. So what is that? This is age array of 1. This is age array of 2. This is 0. This is 3. As you know, through indexing we can access an array elements. So age array of 1 is passed as age 1. Age array of 2 is passed as age 2. So it will display 8 here and 4 here. So age of 1 is 8, age of 2 is 4. Okay, so like this the array elements using indexing can be passed as parameters into the function. So the actual parameters will be array elements, whereas those can be copied into formal parameters. This is the way how we can pass the array elements into function. Okay. So let's continue with another example. So passing arrays to functions. So here in this example I would like to write some function, C function, some calculate function I am writing. So C function, C sum is a function. So where I am using, this is my function declaration. So in function declaration, I am taking the parameter as array. Here the parameter as array. So here I am writing age of, so this parameter of which type of array it is? It is float. So age of, so this array is of type float. So I am passing parameters as float and this function is of type float. So coming to the normal main, where I am taking the two parameters, result and age, where both are float, and age with these values 3.4, 5, 2.6 and so on. Right? So result equals to C sum of age. So I am passing age. So here actually it must be like this, as it is an age array. So age array. So I am passing, this is an initialization of this float array. So 3.4, 5, 2.6, 3, 4.5 and 8 are passed. So I am calling the function result C sum with age. So I am passing this age into my function. So immediately the control of execution goes here, that is float of C sum. In C sum I am taken all the elements. So all the elements are passed into this. So here I have taken sum equals to 0. Initially it is initialized to 0, and for I equals to 0 to 6, as I have 6 elements, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So 6 elements, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. So up to 6, 0 to 5, add. So first it is 0, next sum of 0, right? Age of 0 is 3.14, age of 1 is 5, age of 2 is 2.6 and age of 3 is 3 plus 4.5 plus 8. So this is assigned to sum and it returns sum to result. So that is printed out. So like this, these are the two ways. So the result is the sum of all the variables, array elements, which is nothing but 26.5, is printed out onto the screen. So hope you have understood these two concepts, strings and arrays and functions. Okay. So thank you very much. We'll meet in the next video lesson. Thank you.